Let's talk about some knacking mistakes that you guys have learned from watching corn. Yes, you can remove the C and add it, put the P. You know what I mean? All right, 10 knacking mistakes you have learned. Listen, I've told you guys time and time and time and time and time and time and time again that adult films, corn is all lies. Majority of the time it's lies. So without wasting any of your time, welcome back to my channel. This is Real Talk with IJ. You know how we do it here. On here I'll talk about all things that concern love, sex, and relationships. So if you're a man and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, you're missing out on a lot of information. So subscribe if you want to have a healthy relationship and also to be able to understand women and choose the best woman for you. So without wasting any time, let us quickly start talking about some of these mistakes you guys make just from watching corn. The very first one I'm going to talk about is a lot of you think that it's only when you're going inside that you can give her the big O. It doesn't work like that, okay? Trusting does not equal to her having the big O. It doesn't really work like that. You can decide to knock for hours and that girl will still not have the big O. Yes. You can keep knacking and you're not knacking anything. Because you people see it when you're watching adult film. The guy is just knacking, and the girl is screaming and you're thinking that she's enjoying it. Sometimes you know that knacking is painful. Sometimes do you know that knacking is even what dries her out? When you're knacking, that's what even makes her get dry. You guys don't know, because in corn, when you see them knacking like that, you see the girl screaming, then you think, oh, this is what I should be doing. But in reality, it's not really what women want, okay? So knacking doesn't necessarily equal to pleasure or satisfaction, okay? The second mistake or misconception that people have about knacking when it comes to watching corn is you all think that every woman mourns. Every woman doesn't mourn. You see those Asian ladies, they are acting. That voice you're hearing is just to entertain you, because what? It's content, all right? You see her screaming and rolling her eyes and it doesn't equal to pleasure. It does not equal to pleasure. It's just content. They need to make it interesting, so they need to make sound. Some women do not produce sound when they are knacking, okay? Some of them you just hear little, very little sound. You don't hear those screams and everything. Some of them is very mild. Some of them does not even make any sound at all. But if you pay attention to their body and the amount of juice that they are producing when you're doing what you're doing, it makes you understand that they are enjoying what you're doing. So if your woman is not crying and screaming and making sound, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Just pay attention to her body and find out if she's really bringing out enough juice. Except she's not bringing out enough juice and she's feeling dry, then you know that you're not really doing a very good job. All right, but not every woman will cry out loud when you are knacking. So it's very important that you know that. The third misconception when it comes to knacking that some men have, because of idea of adult movie, is the fact that you think as a man, and this one, a lot of men think this. A lot of men I spoke with, even someone has even asked me this question on one of my live video. A lot of men think that it is your, my light is shaking, sorry guys. A lot of men think that it is your duty to make a girl have the big orgasm. It's not entirely on you. You're doing your part. The girl needs to do her part. You know, in adult films, you just see the guy knacking, and the girl is like, oh, you now think, oh yeah, the guy has done the work. So now you're expecting, all your mind is, I need to do it, I need to help her get it. It's not 100% your problem. You can knock from now to tomorrow. If that girl is not going to have, if her body, she doesn't condition her body to get there, she will not get it. Okay? I used to have a friend that told me that she doesn't know how to make herself get there. Like when the man is doing it, she even feels like, oh, there's an extra feeling that is coming. But since she doesn't understand what it is, she stops herself. Yes, she stops herself from having that. She pushes him away or just gets herself distracted so that she doesn't release all of those energy that is building up in her body. So you see, you might be doing an excellent job, but that girl might be fighting it because she doesn't even understand her body. So a lot of women do not understand their body. They don't understand how it works. A lot of women can be like distracted when you guys are knacking. So if her mind is not there, if her interest is not there, you can knock from now to tomorrow and you will never be able to help her get the big O. So stop thinking that if you do not give her the big O, or if it doesn't happen when you guys knock, stop always blaming yourself and thinking that the fault is yours. The fault is not yours, okay? It could be that you are doing a good job, but she's fighting it, or she doesn't know how to align her own body to what you're doing for her to get the big O. So stop thinking that it's your fault, because that's what, adult film makes you think, that the man is in charge of giving the girl the big O. He's not 100% in charge of that. It's, it works both ways. Okay. Another misconception you guys have is no need to use lubricant, and this is just crazy. When you watch adult film, you don't see where they are pouring the oil and all those things. You just see them all greasy and slimy. My brothers, they use a lot of lubricants, a lot. Like I told you, adult content is content. Adult film is content. Con is content. There are 1,001 people in the background. Once the girl, because listen, have you watched adult film people come to talk about their life? And the ones that are like ex or con stars, when they come to talk about it, you find out that they don't even know how to get wet anymore. Like, it's almost like an impossible thing for them. So the thing you see happening there, all the juice and everything you're seeing, is oil. It's pause and play. Pause. We need more oil. Baby oil, like, anyways, yeah. So, behind the camera, a lot of things are happening. So stop thinking that, the girl is just producing oil and your girl is not good enough because she's dry. No. Invest in good lubricants. Invest in it. Oil-based lubricants. Oil-based. If you don't know how to get it, just go to your nearest pharmacy and tell them you want a lubricant. They will give it to you, but make sure that it's water-based, not oil-based. It's water-based, because water-based is best. So stop thinking that you do not need lube, because the ones you're watching, you don't see them pouring everything. It's the girl that is just bringing out all the juice. All the water is just coming out from inside. It's a lie, yo. They paused and played it, okay? They paused and set the scene ready, poured all the oil and all the slimy stuff, and then they clicked on play, and you're seeing them going in and out, knacking, and you think it's the girl that's producing all those plenty juice. My brother, it's a big fat lie, okay? Another one I wrote down here is, you think that, because of the too much watching of adult content, you think that knacking is for sexy people, because the people you see on TV when they are knacking, they have like the perfect body, they've done boobs job, nyash job, they have this perfect shape, they look so hot. So you're looking at your fat woman like, what the hell is this? Each time I want to touch myself, I think of this slim figure girl. Knacking is not only for sexy people, okay? It doesn't matter if you're ugly, if you're fugly, it doesn't matter. Knacking is for everybody, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to look like the models they use on TV for you to enjoy it. So don't ever look at yourself in the mirror and say, oh, nobody will want to knack me, or I will not be able to satisfy anybody because I don't look sexy, I don't look the way all those models, they look on TV when they are knacking. It's for everybody, okay? Knacking is for everybody. There's no a particular size, or, stop looking at, you people see all the girls on TV that do the knacking, and you're thinking, oh, it's those BBL girls that, they'll be very sweet. This girl that is very slim, like, you should be very sweet. You'll be shocked. That slim girl, you now go and knack. One juice will not even come outside. But you see that fat BBW girl that you're running away from, if that girl comes for you like this, you just enjoy your life. So it's not all about the physical and the body. All right, knacking is not only for sexy people. Everybody can knack and enjoy it. Okay, so stop stressing yourself. It doesn't matter what you look like. Forget about the models they use on TV. You are perfectly okay, and you will be able to enjoy it and also give enjoyment to the next person. Another misconception when it comes to knacking and watching adult film is, you all think that harder is better. Harder is not necessarily better, okay? Most adult films you see, they're always just knacking, making everything so rough and so stressful. It doesn't really mean that that's what every girl wants. There are a lot of girls that just want slow whining, slow ride, grinding, and all of those sweetness, slow and steady. There are a lot of people that enjoy it that way. And guess what? That's even the fastest way for you to give her the big O. All right, sometimes you see that knacking, you're just running past the spot you're supposed to be touching. You're running past it. But by the time you are going this way, you find out that you're now hitting it at the right spot. By the time you take your time. So harder is not necessarily better. We don't even have to like waste time on that particular point. But listen, harder is not necessarily better. I don't know who needs to hear this, but harder is not necessarily better. Another one, guys, come close. Let me tell you this one. Anal is not easy. Okay? You see it on TV, you see the adult stars doing it, you think, it's not just flip it and flip it out like that. My brother, it's not though. If we hear from people who have done it, it's not really as rosy as you think. It's not so easy because you know that, you see that part of the body, it was not designed to receive anything. You see that your nyash? That hole was not designed to receive. It was only designed to release. That's why you only use it to release fat, use it to release number 2. Okay, so for you to put anything inside is not a joke. So if you're ever going to think of doing it with a girl, make sure you have a lot of loops around, because it is not a joke. It is not a joke. See that opening? It's always fighting if anything tries to come into it. So if you decide that, this is what I want to do, this is what my fetish is, and the girl lets you, make sure that you have a lot of loops at hand, and make sure that you take your time. Anal is not easy, okay? The way you watch it on adult film, you see they've done it multiple times. So now somehow the hole is now, used to something coming through it. But naturally, it wasn't designed to receive anything through it. That's why it's so tight. And that's why it does not have any sort of lubricant. It cannot ever produce any kind of water on its own to make it slippery and slimy. The only lubricant that can come out is the one you add to it. Like you see the normal hole you go through when you want to knock your girl. Just a little touch and it produces its own juice that will make it easy for you to slide. But you see that nyash own, no matter what you do, there's no oil coming out from there. So if you do not have lube, please do not try to use that door. Do not try to use it. So it might look easy on TV, but in reality, it is not a joke. Another misconception you think is every man needs a big machine gun. That's not true. Your big man doesn't have to be big. And I know I've talked about this a lot on this channel, so I'm sure you're not new to me saying this. Size doesn't really matter. You just need to know how to use what you have. Because you can still have the AK-47 and not know how to use it. And someone with something as small as a pistol will come and finish every other person. Okay, so size doesn't really matter. When you watch the adult film, you see them using their machine guns, looking very big. You're thinking, oh boy, chai, this is what I'm supposed to have, or more. This is what I'm supposed to have. It's not true. You can have all those things and still not be able to use it. Okay, so it doesn't matter. And anyways, a lot of them is fake. It's not their real size. They've been taking drugs, injection, using penis pumpers, so many things to enhance it, which is not even healthy and not even advisable. So bigger is not always better. Let me put it that way, sir. Bigger is not always better, and everybody doesn't. And also, forget women. Women say it. And in my live video, I said this also. Women often say, oh, I want 6 inches, 7 inches. A lot of them cannot take it, okay? A lot of women cannot take those inches. They can't even wrap their mouth around it if it's that big, because it will cause so much strain on their mouth. It could give them serious headaches, okay? So forget about all of this trend you see on social media, people saying, oh, it has to be big and mighty. Never really works like that. Anyways, lastly, and this one is also very, very important, the angles you see in those adult porn movies doesn't necessarily mean that it's a sweet position. Listen, you see the way they are positioning that girl, bending her left, front, and center. In reality, it's not enjoyable. A lot of those angles are not enjoyable. I'm telling you the honest truth. A lot of them are not comfortable. It's not even really possible. Like those girls, they are so uncomfortable. They're just doing it for show, for you to enjoy what you see. The way they hang them and pin them to do a lot of different angles and a lot of different style. In reality, nobody's ever going to enjoy that. Even you will not be comfortable doing it. Honestly. You see a man raise a girl to the air and he's hitting her from the air like that, and you want to try with your woman. You find that even if you try it, it's not really sustainable and it's not even enjoyable. You're just doing it because you saw it on TV. That's why you're doing it. But in reality, if you ask yourself the truth, did I even enjoy this thing that I just did? Now, you did not enjoy it. You just exercised, did a little exercise because that's what you saw on TV. So a lot of those angles you see on television is not as sweet as they look and the way they sound. All right, so these are a few misconceptions that some of us have about adult film. So if you're new in the game of knacking, bro, just do what works for you. And the easy is usually better. You see those ones you do to stress yourself, it's not worth it, okay? Do the basic things you know, but definitely learn to spice things up and, try to introduce new things when it comes to knacking with your partner. Anyways, this is the end of the video for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you're not yet subscribed, This is the right time for you to hit on that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my video, and there's a bell notification there. Click on that bell so that you get notified every time I upload my video. And guys, make sure you always join our live. We go live on YouTube at least 2 or 3 times weekly. So stay connected to my page and always check the community bar so that you know what next is happening. All right, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe so other people can see this video. I'll see you next time. Keep living life, keep being champs, and bye for now. Mwah.